Hi, Navroze. Good to have you on the BS Banking Show.
Thank you.
ATM industry did not see much of deployments for the last 5 years, but all of a sudden, we see deployments picking up. How do you view the plot at this point in time?
To a large extent, we have started seeing some traction in the market now, and there has been an uptick in the deployment of ATMs today. So we are close to about 258,000 ATMs that have been deployed in the market. And we are now seeing some uptick happening, and that is largely coming in from the deployments that have been done by the white label ATM deployers, as well as a few government banks that have now come out of their rationalization mode, which they were into because of the mergers and acquisitions that happened in the government banking sector. So a rationalization has taken place on the branch network as well as the ATM network. So now, after that activity, now we will start seeing further deployments taking place in the market.
Now, do you see banks revisiting the deployment strategies because digital has picked up in a big way? You think there's a trade-off involved between the ATM channel and digital channels here?
So I think digital is very much here to stay in the similar way as cash is. Cash is not going out. If you see the total cash in circulation today in the economy is going up and up. It's not going down in spite of the digital volumes having really shot up many-fold. Cash will yet have its place in the economy, and we are seeing more deployments happening in tier 3, tier 4, tier 5 kind of towns and small cities. So that is where the deployment will grow. It will not grow in metros. I think metros we have reached a sizable number, so the growth is going to come from tier 4 to tier 6 kind of towns and cities.
Now, one sticking point all along has been the interchange. It's now back to 17, but it's actually a rupee lower than what it was in 2012 at 18 rupees.
Yeah.
Is this good enough for people who are deploying ATMs to earn a living out of it?
Definitely not. Okay, especially if you look at the additional investments that all the ATM deployers, whether they are private ATM deployers or whether they are banks, there have been a lot of regulatory guidelines that have come in from the ministry. You have MHA guidelines, you have from the regulator, from RBI, you have the cassette swap guidelines, then you had a lot of security guidelines that were brought in. All of these have primarily added on to the cost for a deployer of ATMs. So to be honest, I don't think the 17 rupees price point of interchange is any more valid from that point of view, because unless and until you get on an average, say about 140 to 150 transactions being done on an ATM, you will not be able to break even at the price point that is being paid today. So if you ask us on an average, I think our costs today are in excess of 20 rupees when we look at deploying ATMs, because the national average today of transactions is just about 120 to 125 transactions per ATM. That's why you will see a lot of private deployers or MSPs, service providers as we call them. We are not very excited to go out and deploy ATMs on behalf of banks whose transactions, per day transactions, are very, very low. So we would be happy to do it, on a fixed fee model rather than a transaction model, because the current interchange, we don't make any money.
Now, this leads us to an interesting point in the sense that the channel is not ready to absorb costs. And now you have cash out via UPI ATMs. Obviously, the load will go on the ATMs and the cash deployment charges will also go up. Now, how does the channel look from a revenue point of view?
So I think the UPI initiative from NPCI is very, very welcome initiative that you can do now cardless UPI transactions on the ATM channel as such. So we will hope and we look forward to seeing an uptick taking place in the transactions. We have not yet seen a small number of transactions have migrated to the UPI cardless on an ATM. Not yet in the large numbers that I am pretty sure we would all be looking for to happen going forward. As a lot of banks start deploying it, currently only a few banks, Raghu, have started deploying UPI, cardless transactions on their ATMs. So once it spreads and you are able to do it on all the 250,000 plus ATMs, yes, transactions should go up.
My point was something else, in the sense that if transactions were to go up as a result, there'll also be pressure on the cash loading side. And at the interchange of 17, can the channel absorb more by way of operating costs?
So in the current context, with the costs having gone up from a regulatory perspective, doing the cassette swaps as well as doing the MHA guidelines, currently it does not make commercial sense at rupees 17. Definitely, it is a challenge. It's an uphill task for a deployer. It's an uphill task even for a bank.
Do you see a noticeable shift to recyclers coming up, given the cost benefits to be had?
Yes. So we did actually, Raghu, see a growth in recyclers taking place, about a few years back. Today, we are, however, at about under 50,000 recyclers today in the country. So that has got impacted slightly, because what's happened is most of the recyclers have got deployed in the branches only. And, currently there's a good business case for deploying recyclers in the branch, because you can move the queues from the teller to a self-service technology, and you can also offer it 24/7. So yes, there is a strong business case currently at the branch for recyclers. However, in off-site locations, the business case doesn't stack up. And also the interoperability on all these 50,000 recyclers is not operational yet. So there are some challenges currently. We have not seen the numbers really going up because of these few concerns that are there.
Do you see a shift to wall-mounted ATMs, given the operating costs involved in an AC kind of ATM location?
Yeah, see, wall-mounted, I don't think the cost, Raghu, will come down much, because what happens at the end of the day, most of the technology, or if I was to say, the ATM is put through the wall, and that through the wall, at the rear of the wall also, you would yet require a sort of an AC environment. So you would not, bring down your cost that much by putting through the wall.
What do you think will be the shape of ATMs to come?
Okay, so if I was to look at the shape, I look at it slightly differently in two perspectives. One is how is the ATM channel or the ATM network going to look in the coming years, right? So if I look at that, I think that what we're going to be seeing, Raghu, largely is that a lot of banks are going to come to service providers like NCR and tell them that we want you to run our ATM network for us. When I say run it, I mean manage it end to end, take on the full responsibilities of running the channel, because you are the experts in it. We would like to focus on our banking, because we are experts in banking. So we want to use our resources to do the banking activity, and we give you the channel to run as an ATM as a service, because you'd be able to do it in a more cost effective manner. You would be able to take care of the technology obsolescence, the upgrades, etc., that are there. So we are seeing that as a trend picking up in a very big way, where banks are saying that to companies like NCR, please, why don't you run the network end to end for me and give me an outcome, which could be just give me availability of 98% on my fleet, and I should be able to serve my customers. So that is one clear trend that we are seeing. The other trend that we are seeing is that what more can we do with the ATM itself? So today you have products which primarily allow you to do not only just a cash deposit and a cash withdrawal, but you can encash a bearer check. You could do your eKYC. You could get a statement printed out on the machine. So basically, you would be able to do almost 80-90% of what you would be doing in a branch. And as banks are rationalizing their branch presence today, they are looking at reducing the size of the branch. They would look at this kind of technology, which would, help them reduce the branch size and also help them redeploy their resources in the branch to do more cross-sell and upsell of products and services. So these are the two areas where I am seeing, a shift taking. One, obviously, branch redesigning and branch remodeling, which will happen when you rationalize the branches and you use technology, self-service technology. You try and move people more towards the digital. You want to reduce footfalls in a branch, because when a customer walks into a branch, it will cost a bank anywhere, to serve that customer about 75 rupees to 100 rupees just to serve a walk-in customer. So ideally, as a bank, as a banker, I would not like my customers to come into the branch, but I would like them to do stuff digitally or go to a self-service kiosk. So I think that's where the shift is going to happen.
Thank you, Navroze. It was wonderful for you sharing your views with us.
Thank you,
More
Raghu.
power to till box, let me say.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.
I am the blue of the limitless sky. I am the inspiration that led success soar high. I will achieve, I will fly high. I am the I in SBI.
I'm backed by the nation's trusted bank, SBI, the banker to every Indian.